Okay. Hi. This girl's walking around in her pajamas. So I was supposed to make a list of what I was supposed to do when I left the house. I did not make a list. So I have no doubt that I will probably forget something along the way. Oh, I forgot my wedding rings. Oops. The other night my fingers swelled like tremendously and I woke up because I was in so much pain. People don't know how to drive. I woke up in the middle of the night because I was in so much pain because my fingers were swelling and my rings just couldn't take it. I found my Apple Watch. My watch was lost for a good maybe week, maybe 2. And I honestly missed it so much. I noticed that I am less active when I don't wear my watch. I don't know, I guess I just feel like my watch is tracking me, so I have to, you know, put some pep in my step. So getting my watch back was necessary. And it's just gonna be going off from everything that's happened in the past like week or 2. We're going to the bank. I want to get coffee, but I already had a coffee. Hold on. So I'm not gonna get a coffee because I already got one. And then we are going to Target. We're going to the mall. I was supposed to go to Home Depot, but I had a gift card and I forgot the gift card. You know why I forgot the gift card? Because I didn't make a list before I left the house. Did I say the mall? The mall to return some shoes. Bank, check. I was watching this morning. I don't know if you guys follow Julian Hunter Havens, but I was literally watching their video this morning. Is that so funny? I was literally watching their video this morning, and they went to the gym, and then Julia was like, "Gym, check," and she's like, "Hunter, can you put a check on the screen?" And he's like, "It's a lot of work." I was dying. I don't know why I found that so funny, but I honestly just found it hysterical. Thank you. You are nice. So why is the camera on? Because I have my son is like 15 months. For the past 15 months, I've been saying that I'm going to record my birth story. And guys, the thing is, birth stories are long stories, right? I think last time we were like halfway through the story and we were recording for like 45 minutes. Then the battery died. Then we switched out the battery and then the baby woke up. The baby was crying. We handled that whole situation. And then the dogs were like bugging. And it's just, guys, I've started this video maybe 30 times. I'm not even kidding. But today we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it in the car because we're gonna be driving around, and this is pretty much the only way that I know I'm gonna have uninterrupted time is driving. My due date was November 8th, a Sunday. Friday, the 6th, I woke up in the morning. Jesus was like getting ready to go to work. I like to stay in bed, okay? So I was in bed as long as I possibly could be in bed. And he gave me a kiss, went downstairs to leave the house, and I got up out of bed to pee. TMI. This whole thing is gonna be a TMI. Yeah, Bubba, you remember the story because you were there, right? Yeah, I know you were. So he gave me a kiss. He went downstairs. I went to pee. I peed, and when I wiped, mucus plug. Yucky, gooey, slimy stuff. Why am I so dramatic? I don't know. Very yucky stuff is your mucus plug. So I lost my mucus plug, and I literally yelled, and I was like, "Babe, come here!" And he was like, "What?" And I was like, I think I still had the tissue in my hand, and I was like, he was like, "Ew," and I was like, it's happening soon. And then Jesus was like, "Should I call out of work?" And I was like, "No, like, it's not gonna happen today. Just go to work. Like, you'll be fine. I'll call you if anything. Friday was one of his busiest days anyway, so I was just like, go, you're good. I texted my doula. Chilling. I went that day to the park with my stepmom, my dad, my brother, my sister. And I remember my stepmom was like, oh my God, are you okay? Are you okay to go to the park? And I was like, I'm fine. And at the park, I remember I was sitting down watching like my brother and my sister run around. And I was like, are you telling me to stop telling my story? No. He said, yeah. I remember they were running around and I was like, oh my God, I'm about to have a kid soon, right? Other than that, it was like a normal day. Go to bed that night. I wake up. Okay, here's the thing. And I talk about this all the time. I was having a dream that I was with a guy and a girl. They were like friends of mine and we went to a party. And when we get out of the car to get to the party, people start shooting. This whole thing breaks out. People are getting shot, laid out dead. It was this whole big thing. And we got in the car and we drove away and the cops were looking for us. And I was in the back seat on the passenger side. And I was like on the floor hiding from the cops. And I was like, why am I here? I should have never come. I should have stayed home. Like I have very vivid dreams while pregnant. And I was having a moment in this dream, okay? Then I felt like, you know when you're getting your period and you feel like the blood slowly come down? That's how I felt in my dream. And in my dream, I was like, oh crap, I'm getting my period. And then I was like, wait, I'm pregnant. I'm not supposed to get my period. And I remember I literally was like sleeping and I was like, and I just like shot open my eyes and I was like, babe. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, I think my water broke. And the second I said broke, it literally felt like it was like the movies, like the whole, like it, that's how it felt. It felt like a huge splash. I jumped out of bed and I was wearing like a really big, like, you know, one of those t-shirt dresses to sleep. And I get out of bed and I'm just like leaking on the floor. And it was, you know how some people are like, oh, it's not like the movie. For me, it was like the movies. Top to bottom, the whole thing. And I'm leaking on the floor and Jesus jumps out of bed and I was like, babe, guess this dream I just had? You're never gonna guess. I had this whole dream that I was hiding from the cops and people were getting shot and it was this whole thing. And Jesus is like looking at me and like looking at the water on the floor and was like, can you stop? Like, can you wait? Can you just like, can we focus? And I was like, you're probably right. Focus. So I literally just stood there standing, I want to say for like 2 or 3 minutes, because I felt like every time I went to take a step, like a bigger gush came out. So I just stood there and like, Jesus got me a towel, we put it on the floor, just let it all run out. And then we went to the bathroom and I remember I sat on the toilet and like slowly more stuff was coming out, like very slowly. And we just sat there like, oh my God, today's the day. That was Saturday. Jesus worked that morning. I think he texted his job at like 5 in the morning too, like, hey guys, not coming in today, it's happening. So we texted my doula. I remember I sent my whole family. He learned how to say shh, so now he just tells me shh. We have like a family group chat and I sent a message in my family group chat and I was like, ¿a quién se le rompió la fuente? A mí. It was like real dramatic. And my grandmother called me. Like I was still on the toilet and my grandmother called me and was like, ¿qué? Se te rompió la fuente. She was like wilding out. And she was like, you have to go to the doctor. And I was like, no, mom, like that's not how we do it. Like I texted my doula. I don't know if I said that, but I was like, no, mom, like we're waiting, whatever. She was like, ¿qué? You're not going to the hospital? What do you mean? You have to run. And like birth plans and like all that kind of stuff. Like my grandmother's not really like aware of all of that stuff. So she was just like, what do you mean? She called my mom at like 5 in the morning and woke up my mom. And my mom called me like, are you serious? My mom's not a morning person. Like, I'm not a morning person, but my mom like doesn't even talk in the morning, so it was not like very pleasant. And she was like, are you serious? Did your water really break? And I was just like, yeah. And then I tried to go to bed because they say, like, you know, get rest. I went to go to bed and I went to lay down and just like get as much rest as possible. Jesus went downstairs, started doing laundry, sweeping and mopping. Like, he went into full-blown like prep mode. It was actually really funny. So I couldn't sleep just from like all the noise of him cleaning downstairs. I had eventually gotten like a few contractions, but it was nothing crazy. Like, it was one of those things, like, if I wasn't paying attention, I honestly would have missed that they were even contractions. And took a little nap, nothing crazy, nothing long. It was like a normal day. We got up, we like cleaned up, we had breakfast. We went for a walk with the dogs. Whole 9 yards. Took a shower, got dressed. This whole time I'm having no contractions, like none. I think around like maybe 2 or 3, my doula came and she had me go for a walk again, and then she had me doing like certain stretches and squats and like lunges and like lunges on the stairs. She had me doing all these things that are like supposed to encourage labor, none of whom worked. Not one of them worked. And I remember, so they say, I think it's like you can go like 16 hours or 18 hours, something like that, after your water breaks. They say you can go like 16 or 18 hours after your water breaks. Bubba, what do you want most of? You want a snack? A snack. I think they say you can go like 16 or 18 hours, something like that, after your water breaks, until like you have to go to the hospital. And I remember thanks, you're welcome, bub. I remember the whole time, like at first when our doula got there, she was just like, okay, whatever. And I remember over time, I can kind of see her getting like a little nervous, a little anxious. Like, I could see it in her face. And then she was texting like my OB, and my OB, I don't even know what they were saying. I was like, what is she saying? And she was like, just focus on here, do what you're doing. And she had me do like these like open leg squat, downward dog kind of things. And I remember I started getting like a few contractions, but it was nothing serious. And I just remember her getting really nervous, slowly, like her, and she wasn't saying anything. Like, I could tell she was trying to remain calm and like cool, but like I could see it. And I remember we went to the kitchen and we made like some sandwiches or something. And I remember I looked at Jesus and I was like, I think I'm gonna end up giving birth in a hospital. And he was like, what do you mean? Like, don't say that. And I was like, dude, like the time limit of how long I can go after my water breaks is up in like an hour. And I'm not even having contractions. So, and Jesus was like, just be positive. Like, don't think that. Christina didn't say that. And I was like, yo, I see it on her face. Like, I see it. And he's just like, this is a very positive person. So he's just like, focus. Like, don't even worry about it. And then Christina was like, okay, the last thing that we're going to try before the hospital is pumping. And I was like, okay, we're going to pump. So Jesus went and got the press pump, and y'all, the second like the pump went on, like instant contraction, instant contraction. And I was just like, it was fun. It was very, very fun. We didn't know at the time that my son was facing up. He wasn't like, normally they're like head down facing you. He was head down facing out. I don't know what the science is behind it, but in my head, I imagine it like he was like kicking my spine to try to come down. That's honestly the only way I can describe the feeling. It's like if someone was kicking my spine, coming out, like going back, And the only thing that made me feel better was putting pressure on that one spot to like feel like my back was straight. Again, I don't know the science behind it. That's just the best way I can describe it. So we labored at home. That was like around 6. I remember it being around 6. We labored at home, and at like 11:30, almost 12, I think it was, my contractions were intense enough for us to go to the birth center. Like they were, you know, it's like every minute lasting a minute, or I forget. I have to reread all of my pregnancy books now that I'm pregnant again, and I need to like chop because I'm more than halfway there, and I really don't remember this stuff anymore. So I just remember that I was supposed to return something on Amazon and the post office, and I just remembered. This is what happened when I don't make a list. So we headed to the birth center, and I remember the whole ride there. One, we were speeding. Like, thank God it was midnight. There were no cops around. Jesus was going so fast, and I didn't even notice. I remember I was sitting in the front seat facing that way just because I felt like I had to be like hunched over. And again, the only thing that made me feel better was like counter pressure. So the whole time, Jesus is driving with one hand and with the other hand like putting pressure on my back. Whatever, we get to the birth center. They check me. You're welcome, my love. I think I was 5 centimeters at the time. And I just remember I was like, only 5. It's gonna get worse than this. Are we sure? Like, you have one in your hand, Bob. I just remember I was like, oh, it's gonna get better than this. After that, honestly, it was all kind of a blur. It all happened so fast, and I was so sleep deprived. Like, again, my water broke 4 a.m. It's now past midnight. No sleep. Like, I was tired. I was very tired. I remember that we went to like our birthing room, and when we got there, they like tried to like put me on the bed on all fours or something like that, and it just hurt so much. I was just like, no. And then they tried to, it was like a chair, like an inflatable chair almost, from what I remember. Again, I don't know how accurate that is, but it was kind of like an inflatable chair. They tried to, everyone is beeping the horn. This one car that's not moving. People are angry. We're angry. I remember it was almost like an inflatable chair kind of situation, and they put me in, like they asked me if I could sit in the chair, and I remember like I went down, and the second I went down, my back was like, no sis. So I got right back up, and the only thing that made me feel better was sitting in the shower. So I literally sat on the floor in the shower, hunched up in a ball. I don't even know how long. Again, throughout this last couple hours, like I had no sense of time anymore. So I don't even know how long I was there for. But I was like hunched over on the floor, and I stood there for a minute. I remember at one point, someone walked in and like said something, and Jesus was like, babe, like they're asking like if you want to get out of the shower. And I just remember I was like, for what? Like, explain. And Jesus was like, I don't know, honey. They just asked me, like, do you want to get out of the shower? And I was like, is there a plan? And I just remember, like, seeing the feet of the person who walked in, and they just walked right out. Like, they were just like, never mind. It was just like, I'm comfortable. You're asking me if I want to get out. Do I want to get out to what? Go sit in the bed? No, I don't. Like, are you giving me options? Are you just telling me to get out? Am I running up the water bill? Like, I need more answers here. So they ended up just walking out. And then eventually we got in like the birthing tub, which is like just a big bathtub. That's all it really was, nothing fancy. I remember I was in there, and I was in there, and I just remember being so tired. And while I was there, like, it just felt like forever. Like, I was getting so many contractions. It got to the point that I wasn't even getting a break, like, in between contractions. And I was just sitting there like, ugh. I was like closing my eyes in between contractions, like trying to just sleep, and it wasn't working. And then Jesus was behind me in the tub. And I remember he was like saying stuff like, babe, you got this. You can do this. I don't know what he was saying. He was saying a lot of stuff. And I literally was just like, shh. Because it was just too much. Like, I was exhausted. He was like yelling. He was trying to be supportive, but I just couldn't deal at the time. So he was being like super quiet after that. Somewhere along the line, according to Jesus, I ended up getting oxygen. I, again, have no recollection of that at all. I asked my doula, and she said that I did get oxygen. Yo, I really, honestly don't remember that at all. Like, at all. But she said my breathing was like irregular. I mean, my breathing's always irregular. Like, sometimes I hold my breath and I don't even realize that I'm holding my breath. And then I'm like, because I like ran out of air. So I don't know. I don't remember it. I guess it wasn't that serious. Nobody made it a big enough deal because I didn't even notice. Then I remember my doctor asked, like, do you want me to check you again? And I was like, yes, please. Like, are we progressing? And I remember she checked me, and it was funny because I'm in the water, and they have like these huge gloves that literally go up to like here. And she like came in the water with her whole glove, and she checked me, and I was like, Doc, and you know what? They were all so nice and so like willing to just let everything happen naturally. But like, I get anxiety. I need to know what's going on. Like, I need to know the details, and it gets worse about the story. But I remember she checked me and she didn't say anything. She took her glove off. She started like, and I just remember I was like, Doc, is he coming? Are we doing this? And she was just like, you got this, like, stay focused, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, okay, like, I don't even know what that means, like, whatever. So I literally just stood there, contractions, dealing, positivity, right? And I remember after a little bit, like, I looked at the doctor and I was like, bruh. And she was like, he's not really coming down, like, you need to like focus. She said something like that. And I just remember I felt like discouraged in the moment. And I heard, now here's the thing, right? I had told everybody I was gonna have a water birth. My entire pregnancy, and this is why it's so important to like only allow positive words around you and only involve positivity, because my whole pregnancy, my grandmother kept saying like, oh, just get a C-section. A C-section is easier. You don't have to push. Anesthesia, you don't feel it, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, bruh, no, like, I'm not sitting here opting for a C-section. But in the moment, I remember I was so tired. I felt like defeated. I remember I got up, like I was standing up in the tub, and I was just like uncomfortable. And I was just like, I heard my grandmother's voice in my head, like, you should have gotten a C-section. Blah, blah, blah. And then I started thinking like, why am I here? Why did I do this? Why did I choose to go this route? Like, what is happening? And I just remember out loud, I said, I can't do this. I said it just like that, like super like, I can't do this. Bro, my doula, the midwife, and the OB literally all just start yelling, you got this, you can do it. And they just, and I remember I was like, oh, like they scared the crap out of me. And I was just like, okay, I can do it. And like kind of got like my mind back on track. Some more time went on, and they were like, okay, we're gonna start like pushing, like try to push. And I was like, how do I push? Yo, I had watched like every YouTube video I could, read like every book on like natural births, but I had no idea how to push. And I was just like, I don't know what to do. And then I remember the midwife went and got like a blanket and tied like a knot. And then she was like, okay, pull the blanket. And I just went, like I pulled it, but she was like this 5 foot, super skinny lady. And then there's like me pulling this blanket with all my might. And she was like, wait, like chill. And I was like, I'm sorry. Like you said pull, so I pulled. I don't know what I wasn't even looking at her at the time, actually. Like she just said pull, and I was just like, I think she almost fell in the tub with us. And then after a while, I don't know, I guess I got the hang of pushing. I really, honestly, like the whole thing is such a blur. I started pushing, and I just remember, okay, I took a food break. Very rarely do I eat fast food, but baby wanted a Chick-fil-A sandwich. So I start to see the doctor's eyes like open, right? There's no suctionation, relax. I start to see the doctor's eyes like widely open. And I remember I was pushing, but I wasn't really like feeling anything. So when I saw her eyes, I like very casually just kind of stuck my hand on there and went like that. And I felt the baby's head and his little hair like all like watery. I'm like, so cutie patooties, right cuties? Yeah, you were so patooties. So I went like that, and I felt his hair, and I was like, it was like in that moment something clicked in my brain, and it was like, okay sis, you're almost there, like chop chop and push him out and get it over with, dude. Like, and I remember I just went like I pushed really hard, yo, and I still can't even explain how to push. Like, I don't even know. They say that your body has like, I think it's called the eject reflex. I could be totally wrong about that, but I think that's what it's called. And it's like your body naturally starts to like get rid of the baby. So I remember I just like, when I felt his head, I gave it like one last like, yo. And that's when like this part of his head came out. And they call that the ring of fire. Like when that part of the head comes out, because that's like the biggest part of the head. And yo, fire it is. Because it was no joke. So the whole time when you get contractions, my doula kept saying like, you don't like yell like, ah, because that's not helping. And then you're like exerting more energy doing that. You're supposed to like earth noises, tones, whatever. And that's what I was doing the whole time. But bro, that ring of fire, all logic left my brain, and it hurt. It hurt. That, I will say, was not pleasant. But I gave like a good yell. A good yell. I remember I was like, ah. It was my only yell, by the way. And after that, the rest of him just kind of like flopped out like a little fishy. Like, flop, 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 flop. Like I didn't feel the rest of him come out. I felt this, and that was it. And I went and put the little babies on my little chest. He was just a little plump. And I remember they like rubbed his back a little, like wiped his face. We were still in the water, and he was like, ah, and I was like, Bobby, so gross. I don't remember what I said. And then after that, I was bleeding. Now it's funny, I was on Facebook the other day, and this lady had a water birth, and she posted a picture, and there was no blood in her water. I don't know. I remember my water being, I mean, it wasn't like someone put food coloring in the water that it was like all red, but I mean, it was red. I bled. Homegirl on Facebook didn't bleed. I was like, that's weird. I really don't know why. But the water like got red or whatever. And then the doctor was like, okay, come on. Like, come on. So we got out of the tub. We went to the bed, laid down in bed, and put the baby on me. Started like checking me down there, if you know what I mean. And I remember like Christine, my doula, like put the baby on me and was like, okay, like try to breastfeed, like put the baby on him. Yo, but like again, my anxiety kicked in. And the doctor's like down there with like cotton balls and like trying to clean everything up or whatever and like trying to see what's going on. Yo, and all I could think about was like, am I okay down there? Like, what just happened? And the doctor's like super focused, like patting away and like stuff. And I was like, I'm literally with the baby. He was on this side, I don't remember. But I'm like here feeding him my boobies. And I remember I looked at her, like I'm laying flat. The doctor's at the end of the bed. I just remember going, everything okay there, doc? And now thinking back, I'm mortified and I feel so bad for her. Because imagine trying to do your job and you got this annoying girl like, is everything okay? Like, I don't know, maybe if you finish and let me do my job, I'll tell you if everything is okay. I didn't give her a chance to do her job. I literally was just like, is everything okay? And she said something. But they had masks on, so I had no idea what she said. I just heard like, blah, 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 blah. Thanks, you're welcome, my love. And I looked at my doula and I was like, what'd she say? And she was like, you're fine, just let her. Like, I remember it was like, you're fine, like focus. And I was like, but did I rip? Like, what's going on down there? And she was just like, I honestly don't even remember. I just remember she just wanted me to leave her alone. She was very nice about it. But like, I needed to feel like better about myself. And then I'm laying in bed and she's like doing her thing. And I just remember I was so thirsty. And I was like, Christina, I'm thirsty. And she kept giving me water bottles. And I think I drank like 5 water bottles in like 10 minutes. Like I was just throwing them back. And she was like, you're still thirsty. And I was like, I'm so thirsty. Can I have another water? And she was like, I think you should get an IV. And I was like, was it her or the midwife? I don't know. But somebody said, I think you should get an IV. And I just looked at them. Like, that was not the birthing plan. Like, and she was like, if you're really that thirsty, like, I think you need an IV. And I was like, okay. Like, I just looked at Christina and I was like, she was like, and I was just like, okay. Like, at that point, I really had no, like, energy to, like, sit and ask questions. The baby was born at 4 a.m, so it was a full 24 hours from when my water broke to when he was born. I was done. Like, I'm not asking any questions anymore. They gave me an IV. Wasn't eventful. I don't even really remember what happened. I remember that my placenta didn't want to come out. And they gave me, after the baby was born, a small dosage of Pitocin. I think she shot me in the leg, my left leg, if I'm not mistaken. And my placenta came out. Don't remember much about it. After a while, I don't know how long. Guys, again, my time on all of this is like everywhere. But after a while, they cut the cord. Jesus cut the cord. They helped him. I wasn't really paying attention. And then when my midwife was like, okay, we're going to go pee. Like, leave the baby with dad. And we're going to go pee. And I was like, we're going to go pee. Do we have to? And she's like, yeah, like, you have to. And I was like, okay, I don't know why I had to pee. I mean, I didn't physically, like, want to pee. I didn't feel like I had to pee either. And I think I told her, like, I don't have to pee. And she was like, you're going to have to pee. So she got me up. We walked to the toilet, which was literally, like, maybe 10 feet, if not. And I remember she brought the IV thing with me. And then she was like, okay, I'm going to push on your stomach when you pee a little bit. And I was just like, okay. And then I remember she was saying, like, okay, you're going to start wearing pads. and like you're putting witch hazel pads on the pad. And y'all, I remember she was talking, saying like important like postpartum care stuff. Do not recall any of it, like at all. Like I don't remember what she was saying. Then they took me back to bed and they left us alone, and we just chilled in bed for a little bit with the baby. My doula came and was like, hey, like you need to eat, and she made me soup. And I was like, I'm not hungry, I don't want to eat. And she was like, no, you need to eat something. And I was like, okay. I think I finished the soup too. Like after I was eating, I was like, wait, I am hungry. So I finished my soup. They checked, measured, weighed, the whole 9 yards. And then I want to say it was like 9 a.m., 10 a.m. And they were like, okay, you guys are good, you can go. And I was like, okay. And I looked at Jesus, and Jesus looked at me and was like, babe, I'm tired. Like, I cannot drive home. And we live a good, like, maybe 45, 50 minutes from the birth center. So I was tired. He said he was too tired to drive, so I was just like, okay, we'll just hang out for a little bit then. We hung out, we took a nap. Somewhere along the line, Jesus had, I think he had like sent a picture to our parents or something. I don't know, he was like texting people. I don't really know who he was texting or what they were saying. Then we went home. We got home. We took a nap. We introduced the baby to the dogs. I think I have pictures of that. I'm not really sure. But we introduced the baby to the dogs. We went to sleep. That's what we did. After a few hours, my mom, my grandmother, and my brothers came over. They brought dinner. We had salad and pizza, because life is about balance. I remember my grandmother, when Jesus opened the front door, and as they were walking in, I was coming down the stairs holding the baby, and my grandmother was like, oh my God, why are you walking? And guys, honestly, by the end of the night, like 12 hours later, I felt fine. I felt like I was sore, like I had like body, like, you know, when you go to the gym and you're walking and like everything hurts, but nothing hurts at the same time. Like you can't even pinpoint what's hurting. It was like that almost. So I was like in pain, but it wasn't like, it was just like sore, honestly sore. I could not sit on our dining room chairs. I had to sit on, like, you know, the yoga balls that pregnant women are always like bouncing on. I had to sit on that because I could not put that like direct pressure on my vagina. And that was it. After that, we just went back to sleep. I don't even remember what happened. Nothing eventful happened after that. And now we have a boy. And my boy is 1. Right? Mas? Okay. Last one, because that's it. You're done after this. And that's it, guys. So, sorry it took me 15 months to record this. I'm trying to think if I left out any details. I remember my dad, everyone really, while I was still laboring at home, everyone was like calling Jesus, and I remember my dad was like, babe, like your dad is calling you, and I was just like, I'm not talking to anyone. I cannot deal right now. Like, and I really couldn't. Like, imagine me sitting there trying to have a conversation with somebody. No. So that happened. And I think that's it. I don't think I have any more information for you guys. It was long enough, so I'm going to do a pregnancy Q&A that I have asked you guys to ask me questions on Instagram like 5 times, and I never recorded. But that's coming soon. This will be up first. That's it, guys. So don't forget to subscribe. I always feel so dumb saying that. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video. And that's it, guys. This is life. All in all, I had a great experience. I'm pregnant again. We're planning on doing everything the exact same way. That's pretty much it. That's all I gotta say. Thanks for watching. Again, sorry it took so long for the people that have been waiting for this for forever. Love you guys.